We had the opportunity to catch up with Forestry Mutual's Bryan Wagner and have him run through the 5 steps of the open face technique.
Alrighty guys, just a real quick open face felling method talk here. Basically with the open face felling technique, we've got a 5-part plan, okay? What I'm gonna just about guarantee you is if you use all 5 parts of this plan, you will most likely get back in your truck and go home from work the same way you got out this morning, in one piece, smiling. What I am going to tell you is if you take any one part of this plan and not follow it, all bets are off, because every part of this felling plan deals with a precise risk involved in the felling process. So, number one that we're looking for is before we go into anywhere to cut timber, we need to check, look up overhead hazards. What are overhead hazards? Dead limbs, vines, maybe some adjoining timber out in front, something in the bottom that tree may hit and maybe come up. We got to see all that stuff, okay? Just for instance, if this tree here had a dead limb on this side of it, well, I'm going to survey. Yeah, it's dead, but I think it's stable, okay? I'm not going to leave that tree just because maybe there's one dead limb, but I'm going to survey it. With that dead limb on this side of the tree, this is going to be the bad side. So, real simple, I'm not going to have my body exposed to that bad side any longer than I have to. Once I'm away from there, I don't have to go back. So, overhead hazards, guys, look up, okay? Number two deals with side lean, okay? Real simple, which way is that tree heavy to? Well, really, we can't determine that unless I've got a target. In other words, if the tree has to go right here, if that tree's got lean this way, this side of that tree is going to be the bad side. Just plain and simple, if my body isn't on that weighted side of the tree, I'm not injured there if something crazy should happen. So avoid the weighted side of the tree. Okay, number 3, and the guys from Pro Logger, notice I gave a little bit different view of this, but number 3 is very important. Okay, escape. We need to get out of Dodge, okay? Your escape route from a tree is a 45-degree angle away from the tree, and what I'm going to tell you is get your eyes to the sky. Get them up here, because if that thing brushes something on the way down, I need to see it. Now, escape route for me, if I'm in a select cut or any time that I've got the opportunity to do it, I'm going to put standing timber in between me and the fallen tree on my escape path, okay? With this tree here today, we're doing tornado salvage out here, and what the tornado didn't get, they've cut with the cutter, so I'm open here. But my escape route from this tree is going to be out the good side, 45-degree angle back, and on my way back from the tree, eyes to the sky. Now, number 4. This open face felling system, we're basically using a bore cut and we're setting up the hinge thickness, okay? Rule of thumb with hinge thickness. We are looking for 1/10 of the diameter at breast height. So this tree right here, breast height, and I laugh at the guys in class, are you buying or selling? Is going to be 14, 15 inches, okay? 1/10 of that is going to be 1.5 inches. The next question I'm going to ask is, what kind of tree is it? And where I'm going with that is, what kind of fiber do you have? Different species, the fiber style is different. Yellow pine, sweet gum are 2 examples of long-natured fiber that are flexible, okay? So in other words, I'm not going to put 2 inches of wood on a 20-inch sweet gum. I don't need it because that fiber is very stringy. I can get away with less hinge thickness. Now, 2 examples of short-natured fiber are going to be white pine and we'll throw red maple, or what we call in the logging business, soft maple in. That's a short-natured fiber style which breaks before it bends, okay? So that 20-inch soft maple, let's say it's leaning towards the fence or something, I may put 2 inches of wood on that hinge to make sure it doesn't break and get on the fence, okay? So that's very something we have to know how to adjust the thickness. Also, on your hinge wood, this particular tree right here, I'm going to leave the hinge wood continuous across the stump, okay? The guys are allowed to take the centers, okay? I call it just, knock the center out of it, center punch it. It's not illegal, perfectly legal to do. But what you're doing then is leaving 2 corners versus all the way across. I don't generally do that unless I've got export veneer, very high quality export log, grade log, or the diameter of the tree is more than twice my bar length, because I need to get the center of that tree cut. Now, number 5, part of this felling plan, is going to be your back cut. The back cut is just a simple, your final felling cut, okay? Guys, what I want to note here, it is not illegal to cut a tree from the back. But what I need you to understand is, if that tree has front lean, the tension wood is on the back side of that tree. So if I properly notch the tree, flip the saw over, hit the saw on the back of a front leaning tree, you've got movement. Very important, if I'm down in a felling position, look what I just did. From my butt right up to the top of my head, basically is spinal column, okay? If you take this bad boy here, coming from 60, 70 foot up in the air across my spine, I got trouble, okay? The reason that we're teaching this bore cut, plunge cut technique is because that front leaning tree, I'm going to have the whole tree cut, and I'm going to leave the trigger wood in the back of it. The trigger is basically the tension wood that hasn't been released yet. Talking about grade logs, export, high dollar saw logs, guys, there's no way that tree is going to bust. There's nothing on the interior of that tree that's there. I've got my hinge wood, which the hinge wood on the tree is your steering wheel, okay? That's going to steer the tree where it needs to go. And probably the most important thing is, all the while that I've been cutting the tree hasn't moved until I pull the trigger, okay? What that does for me, number 1, I'm looking out in front, yep, we're clear, the skidder isn't coming, the forester's not coming up from the back marking lines, there's no kids out there, I'm good to go. Boom, pop that trigger, I'm out of Dodge. With that tree not moving as I was cutting it, it gives me longer to get out of Dodge. 94% of the fatals with manual felling happen within 8 feet of the stump. So it's my job as a trainer to get my guys outside of that 8 foot. There's nothing but bad can happen from inside that 8 foot. So when you pull the trigger, you need to get out of Dodge, get the eyes to the sky, and get over to your next tree, because skidder's going to be waiting for them. But this is just an excellent way to get rid of the risk associated with manual felling timber in our industry.